Microsoft Azure, right? You go to the Azure portal. What do? You create something called a resource. Before you create any resource, you create a resource group, right? Similarly, in Fabric, before we want to create any resource, first what we create workspace. Workspace will be having your all the resources, okay? And in Fabric, resources are known as items. They are not like in Microsoft what we say resource group and then we have resource. In Fabric what we say, we have workspace. Inside the workspace we have items. That's what is your resource. So look at this diagram. So in previous diagram, what did I go to here, this option, I click new workspace and then I can create a new workspace, right? Once I create a workspace, like in my case this is my workspace. In this workspace what I have done, look at here, I have a KQL, sorry, I have default data set, I have SQL endpoint, I have lakehouse, I have KQL database, and I have other items inside my workspace. Now, so what I explained you here, let's understand this in the part. So we have different departments data. Each department based on their requirement, they can use their workload with the different experiences to whatever they want to process, right? And these department can group their data into workspaces. Means workspace can be basically grouped by one department, one domain, whatever you want to call. You can call your department or domain. They can be grouped further. And look at here, all your data is sitting is where is one lake. Okay, so this is your one leg basic. So because during the demo, you will see that I'm going to create workspace, I'm going to create items, I'm going to use one leg. So these are the terms which I'm just making you familiar so that when I do the demo, you at least know what I'm talking about. Now I'll just move quickly to the Microsoft Fabric interface. So when I will log into the Microsoft Fabric interface, you will see something like this. Okay, so the first part is this smile sign where you can submit or you have any idea issues for the product team, you can directly click and submit there. So whatever resource I have created, these are called items or artifacts. So here is all the items I have created. So I might have created more. So if I just to show you, so if I just go to here and if I say I want to open Fabric, right? So I have two options. I can simply go to my Power BI tenant. If I have, I'll click on my Power BI tenant and look at here where it goes. It brings to my Power BI experience. So look at here. So what icon you see it here? It's a Power BI, right? When I click on this Power BI button here, it shows me total how many experiences. It shows me 6 experiences. Based on my requirement, I can select that experience. So for example, if I click this real-time analytics, so look at here, it's the moment I click here, where it goes. So here I got selected, this got selected real-time analytics. I can see the KQL database. Whereas if I select um, data warehouse, the moment I select data warehouse, look at here, the option I get for the data warehouse. Okay, so this is the experience which I was talking. And here you can see once you click on this, these are the experiences which you have. So this first, what is this first item? Means if I suppose as of now, I have workspace. So I can create workspace. So suppose if I open a workspace, so if I go and click on CCOE test, so the moment I select workspace, here, whatever workspace is called as an active workspace. Inside, if I open the lake house, this is a one of the item. You see it here, whatever active is here, that's the active item we I have. Okay, so this is my active workspace and active item. Okay, and then what we have learning. So if I click on the learning as of now, so this, let me go back. So this does not have learning because I have a different tenant, but in your tenant you might see that you have learning option. What is this learning? As of now it shows all the Power BI related stuff, but it will have Power BI Fabric, all the learning related workshops, trainings, URL links, everything. And then you want to do automatic deployment like CI/CD. That's where you go to the development pipeline. And if you want to monitor your data sets, that's where you go here. And one leg data hub is this is the place where you switch the domains. So let me go to my one leg. Okay, here. And let's look at that. Do I have any domain or not? So look at here. I have, if I select here, I have Honeywell, I have sales, I have testing. So if I select Honeywell, look at the below part also. So if I select my Honeywell once here, my all the data sets are getting filtered by that domain. If I say my finance or sales department, look at here, my sales department data is getting filtered by only sales related. Similarly, so if HR team is going to work, they can filter by HR, IT, testing, whatever they want to filter, they can filter by that. Okay, so these are your what domain filtering. Now I'll go back to the slide. This is what your Microsoft interface looks like. Okay, so let's understand on real-time analytics. But before that, I'll pause in case if there is any question. I'm happy to answer your question if there is any as of now. Okay, so I'm assuming no question as of now. So real-time analytics in today's fast-paced business environment, real-time analytic is crucial for organization to make timely and informed decision. So Microsoft Fabric provide a robust real-time analytic engine capable of processing high volume of data stream in millisecond. Organizations can gain a real-time visibility into their operations, detect any problem, and they can respond swiftly in emergency trend or event. So think about IoT systems you have, how you are going to get the data. You are getting streaming the data based on the data you are doing analysis and you are responding to the any issues. So this is your real-time analytics experience looks like. So real-time analytics allow organization to unlock value by analyzing time series. What is the time series? We have Databricks, your Parquet file, right? And then we have telemetry, we have log type data sets. The ability of this has ability to support structured, semi-structured and unstructured data at very high volume. And this is coupled with capacity of unlimited scale gigabytes to petabytes. Means, can I have like always we are bound with size of data. So suppose your data warehouse or your real-time Custo query language, basically that's your real-time analytics. So we are always bound with the size of the data, whereas this one lake where you are keeping your data, it's unlimited. You can have petabyte size of data there. Now, moving to the next slide, as I said earlier, real-time analytics is on top of Azure Data Explorer engine, which is ADX. Okay. So if I go here, let's look at how this Fabric real-time analytics works. So we have data source. Your data source in Fabric can be your lake house or data warehouse. Okay, so one source can be your lake house and data warehouse. Another source, it can be your structure and unstructured. So when you are retrieving in Fabric data from lake house and data warehouse, you can just simply create shortcut or CI/CD to move the data from lake house to your CustoDB or KQLDB. So one way is shortcut. Another way you have is structure unstructured data, maybe JSON file or CSV file somewhere, right? So you can use Azure Data Factory, which is pipeline to move the data in your Custo query. Then another is a event stream. So in this demo, what demo I'm going to drive, we are going to touch the event stream. Means we are going to touch event hub where the data will be streaming to event hub, and from event hub the data will go to the Custo DB, which is KQLDB. And then we have also option to move the data from ML models. We can move the data to the KQLDB. And once we have this data, we can create a shortcut. Means the data which is in KQLDB can create a shortcut in Lakehouse also. Means whatever data you have in KQL, you can use in Lakehouse and data warehouse. And this data, once you have the data, you can use in Notebook. Means you can connect your data science and use the Notebook to process the data. You have KQL query, which you can run the KQL query, and whatever output you can consume in Power BI for real-time analytics. So what in coming demo, what we are going to do, we are going to stream the data from Event Hub. It will go to KQLDB. We will run Kusto query and we will consume in Power BI. That's what we are going to do in the demo. So before we talk about or touch the demo, let's look at some of the complexity which is being reduced by real-time analytics. Number one copy of data. So let me show what is one copy of data which I'm highlighting. So if you remember, as I said earlier, give me 1 second. So as I said earlier that so I have, look at here, I have OneDrive, which is Microsoft OneDrive. I have my personal OneDrive, but the third one is what? It says One Lake Microsoft. Okay. So if I go to my slide, back to my slide, sorry, just let me bring where is my slide. Oops. Okay, let me bring the slides here. So if I go back here, in the previous, look at here, all the data I'm going to sit is where is One Lake. Now what I'm showing to you, this is the One Lake. Now look at here, if I can make it bigger, I just want to make it bigger. So look at here, the name of the folder is what? CCOE test, FabWS, my workspace. SSB 2013, okay, Honeywell, and then I have App Insights. These all. What all are these? Okay, so I'll go to my portal and let me show you my workspace here. So can you see my workspace names are matching with the folders what we have? So means any data which I'm having. For example, if I go to the App Insights, okay, in App Insights, what I have done, I have built a KQLDB. So look at here. This is my KQLDB, which I have built in my App Insight workspace. This App Insight workspace, I have built a resource called or item called KQLDB. If I show you this KQLDB, if I just query this data, I'm going to get, if I just put just simply I just make a bigger number. Look at how much data I am having here. So this data is where because it's a too big data, that's why I'm getting error. So if I just limit that data, I need to change the setting. That's what error I'm getting. So if I limit the data, I'm getting 1,000 records in JSON format. Where is this data? So look at here, this data App Insight. So if I go to my workspace, One Lake, so look at the name first thing. Which workspace I'm saying WK App Insights. So here is my WK Insights. Okay, this is my, so your workspace is basically one folder here. So when I click this folder, inside that, what I am using, I'm using KQLDB. Okay, so what is the name of my table here? It's, look at here, it says App Inside Live Data, App Inside KQLDB. So I'll go to App Inside Live Data. Here is my App Inside Live Data, the first folder. When I click, it has three options. So in this three option, which one? This is my table name. So where is my data? In the data in this table. So when I click my table, inside I have two table because it's a older data, it's a newer data. So I'll go with this one, App Inside Data here. Look at here, whatever data you are seeing here, querying here, it is sitting in my One Lake folder. Look at here, in which format? It's in Parquet format. So all the data which is sitting here, it's in Parquet format. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm quickly going to set up the whole thing. So let me show you, I have a resource group. Let me go to this portal. This is a simple application I have developed. And I also enable App Insights. So if I go to my um, portal. This is my website. It's a very simple website I have created. Whenever I click, it's generated some workload. And if I look at the workload is coming or not, so I go to my app insight, I click on live metrics, and let's see, as of now, there is no workload. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click multiple times. If I click multiple times, you will see suddenly there is a spike in the workload is coming, right? Now this data I want to send to my KQL DB. So for that, how I can stream it? So to stream it, what we are going to follow, we are going to follow this architecture, which is a real-time data ingestion. So I have a web app, I have app insights. First thing I want to move this app insights data in the event hub. So to move this data in the event hub, I need to create a event hub. So I'll go here and I click on the create event hub. I'll click this option and I'll select my resource group, which is a fabric demo. So I just want to make sure that my all the resources are sitting in the fabric demo. So I'll selected this resource group. I'm going to give the name of this one. I'll just say a name SSB, a SQLSaturday Bangladesh. I'll say 223 and 23, and I'll say name space. Okay, I'll just say name space. That's the name I'm giving here. So let me copy this name because later on I need during my demo time. So I'll just go here and I'm keeping in Southeast Asia. I'm just selecting standard tier. Okay, and hit next. Next, nothing. I'll keep it a default for this to do the demo. So just I'll click on that. So what it is doing, it is creating a namespace. Once namespace will be created, I want event hub instance where the data I'm going to keep it. Okay. So once event hub also get created, then I'll go to Fabric and then I will try to configure my event hub data there, and then I will use in KQL database. So by the time it's getting a spin up, I'll go to my Fabric portal. So where is my, this is my Fabric portal, and I'll go to my workspace. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a, say SSB, I'm creating a workspace. I'm going to say SSB 23, and I'll just give a simple name as a prod. Okay. And I can assign like domain, any domain I want. So I'll say that this time is a IT domain. Okay, and I have other option to assign trial or whatever. I'll just simply select apply. I'm not assigning any compute to my workspace. I just created a workspace. Do I see my workspace here as of now? If I go and say sync with OneLake, no, I won't see it. Why? Because it does not have any data. Now, what we want to achieve, we want to create a KQL database. Why we want to create? Because we want to have a real-time analytics. So I'll say SSB KQLDB 2023. I'll just creating a name this one. So by the time I'm creating a KQL database here, and I'll see here that namespace got created or not. So let's give another a few minutes. So the namespace got created on my Azure portal. Now I will create an event hub in Azure portal. So I'll give my SSB 2023 and EVEHINST1. So I'll give the name of this one. And it says that you want to keep how many days data. I'll just say 1 hour. That should be good enough. And I'll say all default settings, and I will simply go ahead and create it. So now we have the event hub created. Now I want, because this event hub get the data from where? So if I go to the architecture, so this event hub should get data from App Insight. How it will get from App Insight? I need to configure this event hub in my App Insight. So I'll go to my App Insight. Where is my App Insight? So let me go to my App Insights. I'll go to App Insights. I'll go to diagnostic setting, and I'll click on configure event hub. I'll give the name of uh, TS event hub. I'll give the name and I'll select all the logs, all the metrics. Where it should go to my event hub. What is my event hub name? Just now I created is this is the name I created, right? So I will select this name, namespace. Once I select this namespace, what is the my instance name? EH instance. So if I go here and I show you event hub, this is the name I'm getting, SSB instance H1. So I'll go and select that. Let me just put it here. So I'll go here and select that, and I just simply save it. Okay. Now, once I save it, I'll go to my event hub here. Do I have any events as of now? No, it's just a one event which is there. I'm going to generate a workload. So I'm going to click multiple times on my website. Once I click on my website, it will generate the load. Okay. So when I go to my website, I should see some data coming to my event hub. So remember, it has one. Just give a few seconds. It will have the data. So now look at see here. Previously it was one, now it is three. Means the more workload is coming from a website, it has more data in my event hub. Now, so what we achieved, we previously had this, we had this. Now we set up this, and the data is moving from here to here. Now, what I need to move this event hub data, I want to move in KQLDB. Okay, so I'll go to my Fabric. In Fabric, I created this KQL database, but my data is sitting where? Sitting in my event hub. So I need to establish the connection. So I have different options to create the connection. So I have get data from where event hub. I can create the connection from here. Okay, so you have, I can give the name and create the connection from here. I can go also and create the connection from here, manage, connect, and gateway. So I'll follow this option. I'll click on next, and I'll select my data is in cloud event hub. So I'll say SSB 2023 and I'll say CONN V1. So that's my name. So I'll copy the name of my event here, and then I'll select event hub, which is the source, and then it is asking me event hub namespace. So at the last, what it is asking me? Key. Do I have the key? No. So let me first go ahead and create the key. So I'll go to event hub, and I'll go to my instance. I'll go to the shared access policy. I'll create the policy to so that I can have the key. So I'll say SSB 20 SASP. Okay, that's my key. I'll allow and create this. Once I click, my key got created. So I will go back to my tool, and here I was selecting everything. Sorry, I was selecting on this new connection. So I need to give my event hub namespace. So what is my event hub namespace is this. I'll copy this, put it here. And then it says event hub name, which is an instance name. I'll go here inside, and I'll give the instance name. I will copy the instance name here and put it here. And then it says me shared access key. So I'll go here and click on shared access policy. I'll click on here. I'll copy the primary key. Once I copy and paste it here, here is the key, and it is asking the name. So let me copy the name also, which is this is the name. So I have key and name. Let me create it. Once it created successfully, I'll see here the connection got created successfully. Now the connection got established. Now I have a KQL database. I want to bring the data here. So before I bring, I want to enable this option. What this option is says, one leg folder means my data will be sitting in one leg. So I should enable this option. So I'll go here and I'll enable. So give me a second, it's taking time. Okay, so it enabled. Now what I need to do, I need to get the data. So I'll go to Event Hub. I'll give the table name. So I have a table name proactively written. Reason why, because it is easy for me to run my queries because I rewrite the queries. So I'll just give this table name, hit next, and it says that existing connection. Remember, this is the connection V1 I built it just now. So this is my connection. This connection is validating how many consumer groups is there. So consumer groups is a something of your event hub. So if you go to here, you will see somewhere consumer group. I will talk about the consumer group in a while. So basically, at a time, only one consumer group can be used. You can even create a consumer group from here to your event hub. So my data is not compressed. So this option is if your data is compressed, you select is this. If it is not, you need to say none. So my data is not compressed. And when my data start coming, I can select 1 day before, or I can select even today's date. So I'm selecting 1 day before data and I hit next. So this data, what it is doing, it is connecting to my event hub, streaming the data from event hub to this KQL database. So before it puts the data there, look at here, it says 14 events it found, right? And it is going to keep my in KQL database. So I have a different formats. I can keep data in JSON format, whatever I'm keeping as a text as of now. So I'll select hit next. What it is going to do, it is basically creating the data and establish the connection. Once everything is done, just we are good to use the data what we have achieved. So with that, if I go and refresh now, look at here, here is your table. Your data is coming here. So it takes a few seconds to show your data. So I'll just refresh to speed up the things. So now if I click here, if I go and say new 1000 records, let's see the data is coming. As of now, I don't see data. Let me generate some workload on my website. As I said, it takes a few seconds to data to be available there. So if I go here, run, it takes a few seconds to be available there. Kim, let me one more time refresh it. See here, data started coming. Now, this data, I want to so this data is coming here. I want to create a live report of this data. Okay, so I can use, I have written some of the scripts which I'm going to copy that script. So I can see, look at here, this data is in JSON file. I can, or flat file. I can convert this data into the table. That's the beauty of your KQL database. So look at here, this data is coming into a table, processed JSON file in a table format, and I can build a Power BI report on the spot. So if I go here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cancel it. I'm not going to limit data with 100. I'm going to limit the data with more values. Okay, so as of now, I have 105 record, and I'm building a very basic report, which is like how many records I'm getting in power in this report. So I'll go here and I'll just simply put it, let's me put it this card value here. So I'll go here and put it this card. And if I just take a count, for example, value count. So if I go here and I say count, look at here, how many record I'm getting, and I'm publishing this report. Okay, so simply I'll go and publish this report, and I'll say this report name as, let me go here. I'll just put it a SSB2023, and I'm creating in my workspace, which is a prod I created. So if I go here, go ahead and create it. So look at here, your live data is coming in KQL database, and I have reports. So if I go to my this folder, which is workspace, and if I refresh here, I should be able to see the report which I created. This is my report. And if I click here, I should see the count, which is as of now, it has 130 counts. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to generate this more data, right? And it should live stream to my event hub, from application to app insight to event hub to KQL database, from KQL database to Power BI. So if I go, I click a couple of times, and if I go to my Power BI report, which I built, and if I just refresh the data, look at the data is getting updated or not. So this is the real time analytics is happening. So all the data which I talked about here, is basically this is what I'm saying. So your data is moving from here to Event Hub. Eventually, it goes to KQL database. From there, we are actually leveraging KQL query and which we are producing the report. So whenever your data change, you have a live report to show that. So that's what I have for the session. In case if there is any question, anything, please let me know. I'm sorry, I cannot.
Yeah, Dharmendra, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I have just one question. What's the just from intuition? What's the difference between one lake and one drive?
Okay, so simple thing. One lake, what you are keeping is all your data. So suppose just now I'm bringing the data right from my let me show you. I'm bringing my data from my this application, which is sorry, from this application data is going to my 1 second. Let me open that. I'll go to App Insights. So here, whatever application load data is coming here, whatever data, this data is going to Event Hub, but the Event Hub data is being streamed to KQL database. Now the KQL database is sitting where? In one lake. So one lake is going to have all these experiences data. So like you import any data, you build any report, anything, all the metadata data, everything data will be here. Okay, so one lake equals to OneDrive where you have Excel file, PDF file, all other files you are using. Whereas data lake has your actual data, which you use for your data warehouse, ML thing, or data lake, or anything what you use, it is using that. And yeah, have I answered your question?
Yeah.
Ravi? Okay. And if do we have 5-10 minutes or we are running out of time?
Basically, we are already over.
Okay, no problem. So I think this is what I wanted to achieve, and I wanted to show that even you have options to create a shortcut. You can get the data from different places also. Okay, so here is a shortcut. You can use the data shortcut. You can get the data from different places also. So with that, I think I'm done with the demo. Thank you guys. If any other further question, I'm happy to answer that.
Yeah. So thanks, Dharmendra, for
Thank
your
you.
time in the weekend. We'll meet you again.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for your time and joining the session. Have a good day and continue learning. Thank you.
Wonderful session, Dharmendra. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you, Satya. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.